This is going to upset a lot of Israelis, but I think the recognition of Palestine is important.
Nope. Let me preface this by saying that Luai Ahmed has not only been a friend to Israel, but an asset to Israel's PR war in this fight against anti-Semitism and anti-Israel hatred. I know how much this man has sacrificed in pursuit of the truth about Israel and the Middle East. And I say all of what I'm about to say with the utmost respect possible.
I think the recognition of Palestine is important. As an Arab citizen of Sweden, I'm happy that Sweden recognized Palestine 10 years ago. But with Norway, Ireland, and Spain recognizing Palestine today, I think the timing is wrong. Let me explain. Recognition is important to pave the way for the establishment of the Palestinian state. And this is something that I support. Palestine should not only be recognized as a state, it should also be established as a state. They need to be able to trade, build airports, and have the ability to function as a normal state in order to thrive. Saying this, I cannot ignore the fact that Palestine is being run by Hamas, a terror organization. And if this Palestinian state is also run by Hamas, then I don't want it. It would not be a state, it would be a terror state. We need a Palestinian state that is run by a peaceful leadership that has a vision to push for peace. We need to see serious efforts in de-radicalizing the youth and younger generation. We need to see good people take the lead, not a terror organization. Now, Sweden did a good thing by recognizing Palestine, but they also caused a lot of harm by financing schools and groups that preach violence against Jews and Israelis. The sole purpose of a Palestinian state is to serve Palestinians, not destroy their neighbors. Follow me at Builders of the Middle East for more.
Is a bad take. You know, my commentary isn't going to be so much on the Palestinians, but it's actually about Arab Islamic society as a whole. How we got to the point today where we have 22 supposed so-called Arab countries and 50 plus Muslim countries. I feel like I've been a broken record for the last year plus about this, but let me say it again. The Mandeans of Iraq, oppressed by the Arab Muslims, where is their state? The Coptic Christians of Egypt, oppressed by the Arab Muslims, where is their state? The Druze, of Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, and Jordan, oppressed by the Muslim Arabs, where is their state? The Assyrians of the Levant and Mesopotamia, oppressed by the Arab Muslims, where is their state? The Zoroastrian Persians, oppressed by the Arabs and Islamic ideology, where is their state? The Yazidis of the ancient Middle East, oppressed by the Arab Muslims, where is their state? I have to pose this question to you, Luai, and to the team behind Builders of the Middle East. Before putting out a video advocating openly for a Palestinian state, even a peaceful one, wouldn't we live in a better, more empowered Middle East? If we advocated for states for all the non-Muslim Arabs in the Middle East, first, for the people who have had their cultures, their languages, their religions, their lands ripped away from them violently via conquest and religious oppression, you must give me one moral and ethical argument to creating a 21st Arab ethno-state in the Middle East, or 52nd Muslim majority country in the Middle East. When I look at Palestine and their narrative from 1948, their supposed Nakba, there were 700,000 Palestinians plus or minus in Palestine after the Nakba. 77 years later, in 2025, how many Palestinians live here? Between the river to the sea, there are 6 million Palestinians. There's only 7 million Jews in all of Israel. Their population has 10x'd just by the virtue of living near the Jewish state. And this group known as Palestinians don't differ in culture, in language, in music, not in ideology of any of their Arab Muslim neighbors. And they aren't persecuted anywhere in the world for being Palestinian. I mean, only by their fellow Arab and Muslim brothers and sisters, but usually that's because they have a track record of undermining governments and countries in the places they dwell via violent jihad. Whatever Palestinian history and culture is honored in the modern state of Israel. Everything besides the Palestinian flag, which, might I remind you, literally honors 4 Arab caliphates that came out of Saudi Arabia and conquested and colonized the Middle East. The pan-Arab colors under the pan-Arab flag. These colors don't honor any of the ethnic minorities living under them, nor do they honor the many groups that predated the existence of Arab Muslim colonizers in the region. We know today that based on the Middle East around us, whatever Palestine would be, wherever it would be established, it would oppress ethnic minorities. It would reign Islam as the only supreme religion, and it would go on to further the pan-Arab and Arab supremacist agenda. And if we lived in a Disneyland reality where we could actually de-radicalize Palestinian society, so much so that they would become an outlier amongst Arab supremacists and Islamic supremacists in the Middle East today, then, and only then, could we live in some sort of Fantasyland, Israel-Palestine, open borders, kumbaya reality. I would 100% love the idea of a two-state solution. But unfortunately, as optimistic as we want to be, that's not the world we live in. And it's not the world we're going to live in as long as all of us people in the Middle East and North Africa continue to tolerate Arab Islamic colonialism, supremacism, and cultural erasure of all the ethnic people in the Middle East and North Africa. Nothing but love. Peace.